Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to CSS Battle Live, CSS Battle Saturday Night Live, and I'm your host Kushagra Gaur. Welcome. Hey, Jason is here already. Hey, Jason, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining. If you're here, do send a hi in the chat so that I know you're here. Let me know. Hope the audio and the video is clear, and then we should be good to go. Who else is here? Let me know. If you're joining here for the first time on the stream, we try to do these every Saturday. Um, just have overall fun with CSS Battle. We try to reverse engineer some um, top solutions for interesting daily targets, and with that we try to learn from the top players how they solve these targets in the least amount of characters possible. That is how they golf their solutions. And we also do some one-on-one matches versus battles. So if you want to do a one-on-one versus with me, um, we do that here. Just let me know in the chat and we'll have some fun with versus battles. Cool. While people are joining, let's see which daily target should we do today. Should we pick one from December itself? I try to pick simple targets, which simple as in which are easy to get 100% match on, because what I am personally interested in is the approach for the goal solution. So let's focus on the 100% match, little less complexity there, more focus on golfing the solution. That's where the main learning lies. So the December 8th target, that looks a simple one. Even the December 7th one, that's simple enough. 4th is also simple. Which one should we pick today? If you have a suggestion, let me know in the chat and we can pick that one up. Let's see. Let's try to pick one which has a top solution quite far away from the rest of the solutions. That should be an interesting one. So this one has a top solution by Muhammad Ali, and that's on 101, 101 characters shot. That looks good. 6 characters away from the second best. This is December 4th. Let's see December 7th. How's that one? 122. Again, 5 characters away from the next best. And that's an ASCII solution. I'll try to stay away from ASCII solution. What about December 7th one? Let's see. 117, that's almost same as the second one, but both of them are quite far from the next best. I mean, 3 characters far from the next best. What about December 9th? By the way, again, if you are here, if you are watching the stream, let me know in the chat. I'd like to see your hi messages, and so that I know you're here. This is quite like similar solutions for the top 4. I think let's go with December 4th one. That was that had a quite interesting top solution. So we can go with that one. What about December 2nd? I like this one too. Ishu Gupta. Hey, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining in. I guess you're here for the first time, if I remember correctly. Okay, decided. Let's go with December 4th one. That's simple enough. Okay, so before we get on to the goal frame, so if you just joined, we have picked the December 4th daily target for our reverse engineering exercise today, and we'll try to figure out how the top solution works, which is by Muhammad Ali for this target. Cool. Before we take up the top solution, we always try to see how we can build this thing in the most trivial, straightforward manner if you don't have to go into code golfing and all and just worry about the 100% match. How would we do this? So this is a fairly simple one, has just boxes. If you see, these are just three boxes, essentially. This is one, and this is another on top of that, and on top of that we have a third one, right? So just overlaying three boxes with the right sizes, right position on top of each other, that should get us this target. What else? Do we have some other way? I am not sure if uh, this thing is aligned or not. Yeah, I guess it's aligned. Oops, I don't think my screen annotation is working. I don't think you're able to see it on the stream. Let me see if we can get it to work. Should be this. Sorry, folks. Just give me a minute. I'm trying to get the screen annotation working so that you can see where I'm drawing on the screen. I think I forgot to switch it on for OBS. Where is it? Where is it? It doesn't seem to be working. Can't find a way to switch it on. Okay. We'll have to do with just the cursor that where I'm pointing at. Okay, I think I got something. Let's see if this works. Yeah, you should see it now, I think. Yeah, it should work now. Cool. So where were we? So I was saying these are like simple three boxes. We could place on top of each other this box, and then on top of that this box, and then this box, and then position them and size them, and that's it. Other thing we could do is, if you see, this could be thought of as one rectangle, and it has a sort of gradient with hard stops, starting from here, red, then blue, then orange, then blue, and red again. So this could be one rectangle, just one, with these gradients. And then we have these things coming out, which could be another element that's positioned behind it. Or it could also be a box shadow on this element. So box shadows are typically they are the same size of the element as the element, but you could play with the size. You can manipulate it with spread, so you could shorten the width of the shadow and then make it bulge out to get these blue things coming out of the main rectangle, right? That could be an interesting way to solve this target, as well as the annotations are visible now. Cool, awesome. Thanks for confirming, Jason. Yeah, so those are the two approaches I can think of for straightforward solving this target. Let's load up Muhammad Ali's solution and try to figure out what's happening there. So this is 101 characters short, and it's 6 characters less from the next best. Okay, let's unminify this solution, and yep, there we have it. Cool. So no elements being used in the solution, as you can see. We just have CSS, and that means the only 2 elements available to us are the HTML tag and the body element, right? So there is this rule, and then there is this rule which has a nested rule inside it, right? Let's indent this a bit to make it more clear, right? So now you can clearly see the 2 rules. One is a simple rule and one has a nested rule inside it. Let's comment out the declarations so that we can turn them on one by one and see what's happening with each. Okay, we'll come to the scale last, which is on this ampersand selector, which is just a code golfing shorthand for writing HTML. Instead of HTML, you can simply write ampersand. So that's what's happening in that rule. But we'll come to that later. Let's start with this star rule, which is on the star selector, the universal selector, and therefore applies to HTML and body both, right? Let's switch on background, the first thing, and that gives us plain orange, which gets applied on HTML and body both. The HTML background would propagate to the root canvas, as we know. Hey, Gabe is here. Hi, Gabe. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. Right, so we're doing this December 4th target. We're trying to reverse engineer Muhammad Ali's top solution. And yeah, cool. So background is there. Then there is a color declaration, which doesn't do anything because we don't have text, but the colors are generally set for use for like using in other declarations, right? For typically these code golfing solutions, they never set. Most often they don't set color for using the color on the text because there's no text in these solutions. Mostly they are set so that we can use the color value in some other declarations. For example, here, if we switch on the third declaration for this rule, that's a border rule, and you can see it has a border width, it has a border style, but doesn't have a border color, right? And that is because if you don't set a color, the current color on this element gets used for border and many more properties, right? And the current color is whatever color is set on that element. And that is why, because we have the color set on this element, the current color variable, which is the default variable available to us always, that current color variable is set to um, this color, which is explicitly set here, right? And that is what gets used for border and other properties when you don't specify a color. So this is the shorthand way of setting a border color without putting it inside the border declaration, but instead we have the color declaration, right? So that's there, and this gives us this rectangle, which doesn't have any background as such, just has a border, right? And that is, it's D66E. Oh, there's one other interesting thing being done here. So if you can see, this color, it's not there in the palette, right? We have a palette of colors, which are the colors being used in the target. And you can notice that this color is not actually in the palette, right? It's something else. And this is also a hex color with some opacity. It has 4 values. So if you open up or expand this hex notation, it would become something like this, right? Am I right? Yeah, it would become something like this. This is the expanded version of the shorthand hex code that you saw earlier. The first 6 characters, they form the hex color, as we know, the R, G, and B. That's the hex, that's the RGB value for the color. And the next two, the last two, that becomes the opacity for this color, right? So what this solution uses is just a shorthand, and it's a color with some opacity. And the reason why this new color is used, even though it's not in the palette, is because probably the color that we need, which is essentially, if you see, it's the pink, right? So this color is actually pink, and it's being used here because um, this pink that we have, so if you remove the opacity, you would see like doesn't cause too much difference, but it's a little darker, right? Without the opacity, the pink that we get with D66, that's a pink, but a little darker pink than we need, which is this one, the third color. But with some opacity, just a little bit of opacity, it becomes the pink that we need, right? Very close pink to what we need. And that's the code golfing hack here. Hey, Seth is here. Hello, Seth. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Saturday Night Live. Thanks for joining in. Okay, so yeah, that's another code golfing hack. The solution doesn't use the color exactly, but it uses another color which is very close, and with some opacity, it becomes the color that we need. Very close to the color that we need. And that color which is being used, it can be written in the 3-character notation for hex values, and hence is much shorter, right? If we would have used this color, it would have like consumed 6 characters, right? A normal hex color. But this hackish way of getting to that color, this particular color is using just 4 characters, and there you save 2 characters, right, with this color. So that's the second code golfing hack in the solution thus far. Cool. So yeah, that's what we have. Let's also put in an outline just to make things clear. Sorry, solid. Right, so that's what we have. Where do we get the yellow from? Okay, so the background is yellow, and we have put a border on both HTML and body, and it's a 93q width on the border, which is essentially something like this, right? So this is if we have just a 2 pixel border. Let's make it a little more darker. Okay, so the black box that you see, that's body, the black outline on the body, and the black outline on the HTML doesn't show because it goes outside the viewport, and so we don't see it. But you can make out where the HTML tag is with from this pink border, because we have a border of pink color, 10 pixel border. So the outermost pink strip that you see, the pink border that you see, that's HTML, and the inner pink border that we see, that's the body. You'll also notice a yellow strip between HTML and body. That is because if you remember, there is a 8 pixel default margin on the body tag. So that is separating the body from the HTML, right? If we were to remove this margin, that yellow strip between the HTML and the body, that would go away. But that's what we get from the 4 declarations that we have, right? But yeah, we changed this border value, the border width, just to see what's happening. This is what we get, but if you keep increasing the border width, you can see what's happening. And this was the value. It was some it was 93q, right? So let's start from 1q, and if you keep increasing this, this is 20, this is 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. You can see the border width has increased so much that we hardly have any space now left inside body, right? The yellow part that you see here, that's the only thing left for the content box inside body because of the big border width, right? And if you keep increasing it, you'll see the body finally collapses, right? There's just like 1 or 2 pixels left for the height of the body, and after this, as in height for the content box of the body, but after this value, after 75q, the border width is so much that there is no space for body at all, right? And so the content box has just collapsed, right? There's no space left inside the body. It's all border now that you see, and that's why we get this visual where essentially you don't see the background of the body, right? There's just like little bit background of the HTML peeking between the two borders, right? The yellow strip that you see around the body, that's the only yellow background that we see, but the background of the body tag, that has completely disappeared because of the big border on the body, right? On the HTML as well, right? They are same values. So that's what has happened with the big border. But the solution doesn't stop at 76q, remember? It goes further, and that means it doesn't really cause any difference for the body, but if we increase the border width further, the border for the HTML tag is also increasing, right? And that means it will keep shrinking the body more and more, right? So the body will become smaller because of the increasing border width of the HTML tag, and hence the space inside the HTML tag, which is the content box of the HTML tag, would keep decreasing. So this is 76 right now, this is 80, and if you keep increasing, you can see, so this is 80, and if I make it 90, you can see the border has increased much more, and the body has shrunk much more, right? Width-wise, it has shrunk, but the height has increased a bit because HTML itself has overflown out of the viewport, right? So if you notice here, um, up till here, or maybe even here. So till now, the HTML tag is well inside the viewport. It doesn't need to overflow. So the body shows right in the center, right? But if we go for ADQ border width, um, accounting all the border widths, HTML can't be fitted inside the viewport, the current viewport, and so it overflows. And because it overflows now, the body starts getting a little more height inside, right? Because the HTML tag is overflowing, uh, like it's going out of the viewport from the bottom edge, and so the body is getting more and more space now to expand height-wise, right? And that's why you can see like it's increasing. And at this particular 93Q, this is what we get. Uh, this is all HTML tags border, right? And there's much more border here, which has overflown out of the viewport. And because of all that border width, this is all the space that body has uh, left. And remember, it is filled with its border width, which is again 93Q, which is a big number. So all that you see here is the body's border, right? Cool. Okay. So that's all for this rule. And then we have another nested rule to uncover, which is again on universal selector, which means anything inside anything. And the only thing which is inside anything is the body tag. No elements being used in this solution. The only thing which is nested is the body tag. So essentially, this rule applies declarations to the body tag. Cool. So the first thing is changing the color. Let's start with the color. Oops. Okay, so this is what we had, and if you just change the color, so this is the nice trick. If you just change the color for the body tag, notice what happens. The border color of the body tag changes, right? And that is because when you change the color value, the current color of the element changes, which is the custom variable available to us. I won't call it custom, it's not custom. It's a CSS variable available to us by default in the language, right? By the language. So the current color is simply the color set on the current element. And that's what we are doing here. By explicitly setting a color value, we are changing the current color on this particular element on the body tag. And so, because the body also has a border on it, which is which is of the same color as the current color, by just changing current color, we change the border color of the body tag, right? So just for the body, we set the current color to something else, which is a blue color, and so the border color changes automatically without us changing, without us mentioning border color property explicitly, right? So that's the trick here. With just the color, you can change the border color effectively, thereby saving you the whole border thing, right? Otherwise, we would have written something like this, right? This does the same thing, but you don't need to change the border color. You can just change the color because the border color is implicitly using the color value, right? So that's a nice trick to remember. So we get this, but remember if you see the target, if you consider this part, the blue box, as the body, it doesn't look just like a blue box, right? There's some yellow inside it, right? So that means the body needs to be resized a bit so that we can get this thing, right? And that's what probably the margin declaration, the last declaration on the body tag, that's doing that. Remember, in code golfing, whenever you see margin, it's most likely being used to resize some element, because positive margins shrink things and negative margin expand thing in whatever direction you want to. So or they can move things, right? If you put a top margin on something, it moves downwards. So most likely margin is resizing the element or positioning it at the right spot, and that's what I guess is happening here as well. With a negative uh, top and bottom margin, a big negative top and bottom margin, you're essentially expanding it in the vertical direction. And with a small left and right margins, negative margins again, you're expanding it in the horizontal direction. You're pulling it in the horizontal direction, right? So that's what we see here. The body tag, it has grown too much in the vertical direction because it's a big negative pull from top and bottom. So just like uh, expanded vertically, and there's a little bit horizontal margin as well. So you can see like this is what sorry, it's not 0 by default, it's 8, right? So this is what it should be by default for the body. Let's make both. So this is what we had earlier, right? This is what we have by default in HTML. The body margin is 8 pixel. So this is what we saw with our declaration as well. And 8 pixel can be written in 8 pixel, which is like the top, bottom, and the second one is the left and right. The top bottom was given a big negative number so as to pull the top and the bottom edges. And so if we start like making it negative, you can see it's starting to pull the body from the top and bottom edges. Therefore, the height of the body tag is increasing, and because the top and the bottom borders, which were earlier collapsing into each other, they were overlapping each other, leaving no space in between, they are starting to separate out, right? With the increasing height, the top and the bottom borders, they are separating out, they're going far away, thereby causing that space in between, which you see here. This orange space that's starting to show up, that is essentially because the top and bottom are not touching each other, the borders, and so the space starts showing up, right? So that's 150. If we keep moving, that's big number. What was it again? 174, right? Cool. So that's the um, top and bottom negative margin that we have here. And so this was 8 pixel earlier on the left and right size, but the solution decreases it a bit to 2 pixels, right? That's what the solution does. And essentially what this has done is, you can see the orange or the yellow strips here, these strips, the two strips, the very thin strips that show. That's because, remember, because of the margin on the body, which is separating the body and the HTML a little bit, right? So the solution doesn't need that spacing, I guess, and so it just like removes it with a 2 pixel margin there. Right, so this is what we have with all the declarations open except the last one, which is a scale declaration, right? And that applies to the HTML tag, just the HTML tag, and so that's the hack, right? Essentially on the HTML tag. So now with the right scale, and which is also a shrinking scale, so it's less than 1 on both the axes. It's almost like 0.7 on the, I guess this would be X horizontally, and on vertically it's like 0.3. So making it smaller than what it is right now. Um, so you can assume, you can imagine this is the body right now, right? It's expanded vertically quite a bit. It's overflown out of the viewport. If you shrink this thing, of course, like vertically and horizontally, it would shrink. and you can get it to show up like this with the right scale values. Also, an interesting thing is if you scale the body equally on both the directions, horizontally and vertically, because the border are exactly same on all the four sides. If you shrink the body same on both directions, you would get equal borders again, right? But that's not what we need. If you see in the target, if you imagine this as the body, which is the body, uh, you can see the left and right borders are more, they are thicker compared to the top and bottom ones, right? So that means if you have a body which has equal borders, and eventually you need the borders to be different, the inline ones to be different from the block ones, you have to scale the body in with different values in both the directions, right? So that is why you see the scale values different in both the directions. On the x value, on the x direction, the shrink is little less. You're just shrinking it to 70% of what it is. So the left and right borders, you can see they are thicker. Uh, they stay much more thicker, whereas the shrink on the vertical direction is much more, right? It's 30% of what it is, right? You shrink it to just 30% of what it is. And so that means whatever it was, you leave the border to just 30% of it, which is much more thinner, right? Compared to the horizontal one. So that's what happens when you shrink this big body by unequal amounts on both directions. You get unequal amount of borders uh, in inline and block, right? So that is what will happen to the body tag. I think that's pretty clear. But the body, just the body is not shrinking with this shrinking scale, right? The HTML tag would shrink as well. So this pink that we see here, that is the border of HTML tag. So if we shrink HTML by quite an amount, we could have it shrink to such a small amount that the border of the HTML tags will collapse, right? Just like how the borders for body tag was collapsing, they were collapsing into each other, making body essentially just a solid color box, right? So that's something we can do with the HTML tag as well. Um, if you make the borders collapse, you will get this pink filled box, right? Which is the pink color is the border color, right? You get this box, but because the body has to overflow outside the HTML tag, that's where the huge negative margin comes in, right? Because the body doesn't have to like fit inside the HTML tag, it has to like get pulled out, it has to overflow. So that's why the big negative top and bottom margins are required, and the exact number to get the exact dimensions. But yeah, that's what will happen. And then so we talked about the shrunk body. This becomes the HTML, which is a filled pink thing because it has just the borders showing, collapsing into each other, and pink borders just make it a pink box, right? But what we are left with is just this yellow thing now, and that's the background of the root canvas. Like we talked about it earlier, the background on the HTML tag won't stay on the HTML tag, it would propagate uh, upwards to the root canvas, and so you see this yellow thing filled all over because the root canvas is all over, even though HTML has shrunk to just this pink box, uh, the outside is just yellow because of the root canvas, right? So that's what happens. Let's turn on this final declaration, and there you have it. You get this body, and you get this HTML tag, and then all the yellow becomes it comes from the root canvas background being set, right? amazing solution. Very simple, using a lot of code golfing techniques. I think at least 4 or 5 techniques are being used here. There's margin resizing and positioning. There is the color hack for shortening the color value. There is this current color hack, which is being used to set the border color differently on 2 different elements using the current color or the color declaration. That's third. Um, there's this ampersand trick to put declarations on just the HTML tag. Um, and then the whole approach of like being able to visualize the target at hand with just HTML and the body, uh, and create this visual from just those 2 elements. And of course, the uh, root canvas background thing. So it's overall like 4 or 5 techniques being used to create this very simple target, but very interesting and creative approach there by Muhammad Ali. Amazing solution. Nice. Cool. I really love reverse engineering daily targets. The top solutions of the daily targets is so a fun learning experience. You get learning and fun both at the same time. Very nice. What about the other solutions? Let's see. Ludwig has the next best, which is 6 characters more than Muhammad Ali's, and seems to be doing the same thing. I mean, it's using those 2 elements again, setting borders, scaling them down. But I think it's also using the color hack as well. In fact, not just for the pink, it's also using it for this blue thing. I think Muhammad Ali was also using it. Yeah, I forgot to mention this. Like, even the blue color is not the same color from the palette. It's again a hack, which is using some different blue, but with a particular opacity, um, a particular transparency, it becomes nearly equal to what is required by the target. So yeah, both the colors had that opportunity to shorten them. So yeah, I think that's also being used by Ludwig's solution. But I think the whole rearrangement is a little different. Even though the approach is same, the code arrangement is such that um, I think it's 6 characters more, right? It seems like all the top solutions are doing nearly the same thing, just that, like, again, code rearrangement plays a very important role. You need to have the things ordered in the right way to save characters. Sometimes, like if you put something at the end, you can save more characters compared to if you put it at the start. You would get essentially the same thing at the end visually. The rendering would be same, but you can save characters by ordering stuff. I think that's mostly the difference among all the top solutions here. I can see the same approach. Cool. Interesting target. Fun to reverse engineer. Okay. Muhammad Ali didn't have a margin on the HTML. Didn't have a margin. Okay. Oh, so you mean Ludwig had a margin on HTML? Yeah, he has 2 margin. Okay. Yeah, so a little bit different approach there. Then I guess HTML required some like different margin to be placed. So yeah, it's a little different. Yeah, thanks for pointing out, Jason. Cool. Done with the daily target, and that means it's time for some versus battles. I was gonna push an update, um, which makes the versus targets, the auto-generated versus targets a little more um, technically possible to get 100% match on. It takes 4 minutes or so to push the update. I think I'll do it. Let's try that. Just give me a minute. I'll initiate the deployment so that we can at least be able to get 100% match. I think we don't need it actually. It's more useful for medium difficulty targets, but since we play only easy difficulty targets, we should be fine anyways. I have 2 credits left, so let's do 2 versus battles. Let's see who wants to do first. But there's already a publicly hosted. Let's do this one. Let's see who's here. Lickit B. Okay. He has time attack set. Okay, let's taunt. Is the chat working? Oops.
Just 10 seconds left!
Seems like the chat is not working. Okay. Nothing like pushing to prod while live streaming. Let me do that then. Let's push it to prod. And we can do a difficulty, medium difficulty target probably today. Okay. And I'm gonna initiate the deployment now. Okay, the deployment has initiated. I don't think this host is ready to start the battle, or maybe they don't have the credit required and just created a room. Maybe we can put some kind of indication in the lobby here that this room is not eligible to start because of lack of credit, or maybe yeah, I don't see any other reason. That's the only reason right now, because of which one could create a room, but it can never be started because there's no credit. Cool, let's leave it then. Okay, we are out, and I'm gonna create a public room for anyone who wants to join this and do a duel with me. As usual, I'm gonna leave it to time attack. Make it 4 minutes. That's the sweet spot. And let's do an easy one while the fix that I made is getting deployed, which makes even medium and difficult and hard difficulty targets. Hard is not enabled right now, but the medium difficulty targets would be 100% achievable with that change. Cool, I'm waiting for someone to join. You should see a public room available on the home page. You can just join it and then we can start. What happened to the chat? It's working here.
Submit now, please.
Hello.
Cool. Who wants to do a versus battle? I'm still waiting. Don't tell me you're not able to join. That would be a bummer. Awesome. Jason is here. Cool. I'm ready, Jason. So whenever you're ready, we should be good to go. Deployment is in progress. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, and
Play.
blast off. What do we have? Interesting. Okay, so it's a square, and there are 3 circles around the square. Okay, I'm gonna use grid. Jason has already submitted with a background color, and so there's a 64% match there right away. Cool. Okay, I got carried away. Place content center, and we want this to be exactly the same red, not a different red, and we want background. Here I'm gonna submit as well. I need the right dimensions, and that is, what is it, 200 200? Is that right? No, it's 210. Yes. And what about, yeah, it's right. So the square is there. We need some circles. I'm gonna use paragraphs for circles, and we need 3 of them. These are gonna be I, J, and K, and it's 2.5 minutes left. So the P's, which are our circles, they are gonna be the same color as the square. They are circles, so we need border radius of 50%. They're much smaller, I guess 100. Let's do aspect ratio so that we don't have to repeat. Looks right. And they don't need to shift the square, so they need to be absolute. Let's start placing them. So the default one goes somewhere here. It's too much left, I guess. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, no, 100, makes it too much. 90, no, it's just a little bit peeking out. And this also has to be just a little bit. 25, I guess. Let's do a summit. Interesting. Jason has a border. It's a nice trick. His debugging techniques are visible to me. And we are both on 99% match. I should put the decimal value there as well so that I know who's ahead. Okay, got carried away again. Let's position the other circles as well. There's just 48 seconds left. Okay, so the top has to be same, but this needs to no, 200, no, 10, 20, not too much, 100, no, that's too much as well, 205, I'm gonna submit, and it's at the wrong position, shit, okay. Left has to be same, so 95, 240, that's too much, 140, and 145, I'm gonna submit 15 seconds, I have 2 circles at the right position, nearly at the same position, and I need to set the last one, but I don't have time. Bummer. Can't finish it. 99.8. Yes, I won by 0.2% more. Man, I just required 10 seconds more. I would have got there. But yeah, fun match. I just had to place the 3rd circle. You should have placed the 2 circles. I mean, I'd start placing the circles, Jason. Yeah. But yeah, fun match. Whew. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I still lost 1 point in my rating because I had more rating and this resulted in a draw. So I lost a point and Jason gained one. Nice match. I haven't used position fixed in so long that I forgot most of the tricks available to me. Okay, were you trying to like, okay, you were trying flex and grid and some layout positioning. Okay, cool. Let's do one more. What's the status with the deployment? Okay, it's deployed. Cool. We haven't tried a medium difficulty target ever on the live stream. Let's do that one. I'm gonna increase the time. This is gonna be our, oh sorry, not this much. Last versus of the day, unless someone is willing to fight me. Who's here? Ishu Gupta is here. Hey man, thanks for joining. We are gonna do a medium difficulty target. I hope it's not too much medium difficult. And I'll keep it on 7 minutes. That should be more or less enough, but we'll see. Okay, he's ready. I'm ready as well. Sorry, I'm ready. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What do we get?
3, 2, 1. Play.
Here we go. Okay, not too medium. I'm gonna do the same thing. I should probably. Sorry, not. It's supposed to be on the body. The background needs to be red. What a coincidence, I got the red color again. And this needs to be display grid with place content center, not enter. And the background needs to be, sorry, this needs to be here. Background is light red. Okay, let's size the rectangle 200, a little bit more. Yeah, that's right. And what about the height? It's supposed to be 195, 205, no, it's 210. Cool. We have a rectangle and I'm gonna do a submit.
Player, hit the ready button.
I'm at 99.9.
Okay. Keep submitting issue. Then we need another 2 more elements. In fact, I'm gonna make them P again, and my P's are gonna be absolutely positioned. I guess we should have a mode where position absolute or fixed is not allowed. That would be fun. But yeah, someone could use margins to position things. But yeah, even that is little not straightforward compared to position, because with like compared to absolute and fixed, because with absolute and fixed you don't have to like bother about other elements. You just put the elements where they need to be without caring about the other stuff around them. So restricting them would be fun, I guess. Okay, back to the game. We have 4 minutes left. I don't think I'll need 4 minutes. It should be done before that. Why am I writing pixels? You don't need to. Let's keep it this. And somewhere around 150, 0. Why don't we see the P? Doesn't have a background. Okay. It's supposed to be border radius. Cool. How do we get the width of this thing? It's not even visible. 50 and the height I guess is 150. It's definitely not a circle. Okay, let's position it first. 20, 30. No, it's 60. Cool, I guess that's right. And left needs to be somewhere inside. Needs to go inside. A little more height. 50. Okay, not very accurate. I'm gonna leave it that ways. Issue you should do a submission so that you get some match, some score. If you don't submit, nothing gets count. The submission is not automatic. So make sure you do submit. I'm gonna use P plus P selector to make another square, which is doesn't have any border radius. So I'm gonna reset it back, and yeah, just the widths need to be tweaked then. I guess it's 120 and height is 120 again. It seems like a square. The left should be a big number. It doesn't matter if it's a square or not. I just need the right height actually. I think this looks good, and then just with the right position. Yeah, I think. Are we done? What happened to my main square? That got shortened. Why? I thought I got the right dimension for that. Is it not a square? My width is wrong. My height is right, so it's not a square. The width is a little more. Yeah. Now our center square is correct. Our smaller square is not. It seems to be off by a pixel. I'm gonna do a submission anyways. It's 1 minute left, and I should get 99.9, I think. Yes, it's 99.6 actually. Okay, so the smaller square seems to be off by 1, which means does it really have a weird position, a top value? Let's try. So it was 60. What if we make it 61? No, that doesn't work. 60 is also not right. So is it really at 59? Yeah, that fixes it. Let's switch on def to fix our circle as well. I think the width has to be more, and then if I keep shifting it here, that's much more near. It's a draw again. I wouldn't call it a win, but yeah, got more percent. But that's weird. Why is the square at 59 pixels from the top? That's bad. There's some bug. It shouldn't be. Why is it a draw? Well, nobody got 100%, and currently time attack only is a success if either of the player gets 100% match. Nothing else is counted. So nobody won basically, so it's a draw. But I need to get in a mode added for time attack. One who gets more percent also should be able to win if the players choose that, switch on that setting. So that's gonna be there soon. Cool. Why does it say join back? Okay, we are almost out of time. I'll just wait for 2 minutes. If someone wants to do a versus battle, we could do one more. I need to add one more credit. But yeah, if if someone else wants to do, someone who hasn't done one already, I'll just wait for 2 minutes. But otherwise, that would be it for today's stream. A fun daily target. I hope you all had fun too, learned a thing or two, and of course the versus battles. That's always a fun thing. Cool. No message in the chat, so I'm guessing that would be it for today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, the CSS Battle channel, do subscribe to it so that you get notified about the further streams or the further videos that come up there. We'll try to probably meet next Saturday too. And I guess that would be the last stream of the year, most probably. But we'll have one more Saturday bit before the year ends. Also, very soon you'll have your year at CSS Battle summary, a fun page to see some fun stats about you, how you played CSS Battle in 2025. So keep an eye on that. You should see it somewhere in the sidebar, and you'll have a fun page built for yourself, a personalized year wrap page for you. So that's coming soon in a day or two. Cool. That would be it. I hope to see you all next Saturday. Same place, same channel, same time. Until then, thanks for joining in. Hope you have a fun day, a fun good night. See you next Saturday. Bye-bye. Or will there be a Xmas New Year battle? Yes, I'm planning a short one, a mini battle, one which has just 4 targets. Probably I'll announce it by tomorrow or day after tomorrow. We'll try to have it before Christmas because it's going to be a short battle, so it won't span over 4 weeks, but a 1 week battle most likely coming up. Yeah. All right. Bye bye.